Oh, good morning, everybody. Not even sure anybody's alive. Oh, well, book sales have stopped. Job offers are terrible. I guess I'm just too old to work at most places. Some of you picked up on it. I'm sick. We won't go into how bad, but it is what it is. Morning, whoever walked in the door. Oh. I know one or two of you are awake. I talked to you on Facebook this morning, or at least saw you tag in on Facebook. Let's say that much. I know Will's out there floating around doing something. He can't sleep apparently. Not sure where Bobby and the crowd are. Guess you guys overdid him there, Cliff. Must have pushed Bobby a little too hard in all this heat. I know y'all all are expecting something. Oh. Had some weird conditions here in Ohio. These storms. We're getting heat waves, but we're getting the Camelot rain. I guess that's what you would call it. Heavy rainstorms in the middle of the night. Meanwhile, we're dealing with excessively high temperatures. Of course, half my radishes are proving me wrong too. They said ½ inch. Bury those seeds a ½ inch. That's what it says on the package. Apparently, that's just an opinion. Because my radishes are coming up, and they were buried deeper than that. At least I think those are radishes coming up. I don't know. I can't find pictures of what the leaves are supposed to look like. They could pass for clover, but they're huge leaves, so whatever. Whatever. And like I said, it's just a prep for the bed. The more radishes growing in anyone's garden, the better off you are, especially if you don't pull them, because it's natural nitrogen. It's going to break down in the soil and just amp the bed up for next year. Well, I shouldn't even say next year, because these things are a 30-day crop, basically. So you could plant them once a month, regardless of what else you have growing in your garden, and just amp the living daylights out of the garden if you never pull the radish, if it reads right. Hey, good morning, Bobby. Oh, had to switch back to Folgers. I'm out of Maxwell House and not working. Yeah, it's going to be a bad month. Oh, God. Folgers. Ugh. It's not the best part of waking up, let me tell you. Ugh. I think I'd rather go sit out in the heat and wait until my body just dehydrates before drinking a cup of Folgers. Oh, it's so bad. Ugh. It is what it is. I'm surprised you're up and awake, Bobby. I'd have thought your channel would have been on, unless you guys were hiding out. Because I hit up Oh my, I've been on what? I've been up since 2 hours. 1 o'clock I got up. You know, I tried. Uh, I tried explaining to people that after a while, you get to know your body. You learn to listen to your body, and it tells you what you need to eat. People don't understand. They get confused by that. It's like you get a taste for something. Hey, good morning, Cliff. It's like you get a taste for something. Um, Fish or salad or a good steak or most people just get the munchies. They drive by McDonald's and smell the fries and they have to pull in, type of thing. Well, your body will do that when you get all natural. Um, so I made the mistake. I was out having a good day. Bought I love Monster iced tea, or I'm sorry, lemonade. Their lemonade. Love it. My body don't. So I am up at 1 a.m. with a migraine headache from hell that I cannot shake. I'm probably going to be stuck with it for another couple of days. But your body will tell you, don't do something. Hey, there he is. What's going on, buddy? Is it warm enough over there? What did I see? 70 a couple of minutes ago? I haven't gone outside yet, but oh boy. It's going to be a week. I can tell already. Somebody was out cutting their grass yesterday, 5 o'clock at night, in the sun, cutting it short with all that heat. I know damn well that yard's going to burn and go dormant. You know it is, but he won't listen. The neighbors won't listen, but they'll complain because my yard's green, bright, dark green. They'll complain, but won't listen to reason. Okay. Kind of like that blonde joke. Oh, girl decides she's going to try and earn some local money, something under the table, so she starts going around neighbor by neighbor, knocking on doors, looking for extra work, and the guy answers his door, and the wife's in the other room listening, and he says, "Well, yeah, I've got some extra work. I don't feel like doing. How much to paint the porch?" And she's, well, $50. So he agrees to it, and he gets her the paint because he already had it and everything else, and she takes it and waddles off with a big old smile, and the wife gets on him and says, "You're just taking advantage of the stupid blonde," and blah blah blah. He says, "No, she offered to paint the porch for $50." About a half hour later, after this discussion with the wife and this porch being, all the way around the house and what have you, they don't see her anywhere, but she knocks on the door and she wants paid. And he's dumbfounded how she did it in under a half hour or what have you. And she said she even had extra paint, so she painted it twice. The wife's standing there kind of giggling and doesn't get involved, and he pays her the $50 and she leaves. And he goes out and he looks, and the porch hasn't been touched, but the portion, the driveway has been painted twice. Yeah. Leave it to a blonde. Guess that's kind of how my neighbors treat their yards. You know, they're jealous, but can't follow basic guidelines. Oh my God, I've got a weed that's too big on this corner of my yard. So even though you say don't cut the grass as short, cut it high, if I have to cut it at all, because oh my God, there's 2 or 3 blades of grass over there. Don't cut it in this heat. Big mistake. Don't do it. Uh, and some people, I went and did some checking on some of the opinions, and they are opinions on watering. When's the right time to water? When's the right time to do this, that, or the other? That varies. That varies. You know, some people say if you water in the morning, you're going to cause disease. If you water at night, you're going to take the heat from the day and drive it further into the soil. Well, yeah, but tap water is kind of cold. That's why I kind of lean towards, doing it in the evening before the growth spurt. Try and help cool that soil off. You're not talking about torrential downpour. You're talking about getting the soil wet. But again, you got to have armor on the soil so that your soil's not spraying everywhere. You've got to have cover. Whether you use hay like I do, use alfalfa hay, or you have an actual crop growing. Now, some of you caught that show on Facebook, Getting Better with Ann Beal. Hold on. It's about the THC, CBD oil. Longevity, the company that I'm involved in, who now informs me that because I am an associate, I could have used their information in my book. So I may have to redraft the book. But I could have used their information, and they would have gladly hosted the book with the information in print in the book. But yet, when I tried to contact them prior to the books being published, I couldn't get a straight answer from anybody. Go figure, right? Yeah. So millions of potential book sales ripped from my hands because nobody would answer the damn phone. Nobody would give me a straight answer. Nobody knew anything. This coming from the owner of the company in the last week. Really? Just to put their product in. But back to this CBD oil. Apparently, now some of you guys that have more knowledge in it than I do and understand it better than I do, because of my security world, I could not be involved in any of that, nor could I ask any questions and have too much knowledge in it. The THC has nothing to do with the CBD. The CBD oil has all sorts of medical benefits, whereas the THC is the one that gives you the lightheadedness, gives you the basically getting stoned. They've narrowed the market down in their research, and I've got to dig into this a bit further. They're saying that these plants, now I don't know the strain, there becomes the other issue. They're saying that the strain of plant, hemp plant, that they're utilizing for the highest CBD yield with the least amount of THC. I don't understand any of that. Somebody's going to need to explain that to me one day. Is only using 70 minerals, just 70. I don't know whether that's soil tested or not. Again, I got to get a hold of these people and dig into this and find out. Because if we're going to narrow this thing down, then yeah, I need to rewrite the book. Or potentially rewrite a second book specifically dealing in that aspect. I don't know. The hemp crowd, the marijuana crowd would far surpass my knowledge here, because I stayed away from it because of the legality of it with my job. I don't know. Too many questions. My head's spinning in that aspect, which isn't helping at all, because I don't want to write another book. I really don't. At least not right now. I'm struggling too hard with this one. You know, I don't understand why a prepper who has a bug out location would not want this information to go prep an area ahead of time to give them the best possible yields. This is something you can do that nobody sees you doing. Why would you not prep your gardens just like a fall prep before you pack it up and put it to bed? For those of us that deal with snow, okay, you prep your bed in the winter with your hotter manures, your this, that, or the others. You mix stuff in to break down over the winter. Basically, you're leaving stuff behind to feed the worms. And then you pack it, whether it be leaves, whether it be hay, whether it be, you basically move your compost pile and put your compost pile on top of your garden. And let it sit all winter. Let it stew. This is just a common practice, I think. I think it's a common practice. I don't know. Every gardener I know does it. They prep their bed in the fall to prep it for winter to keep the soil from freezing. It's a common practice. They're not looking at it from the food web side of it. They're looking at it from a completely different angle. You know, they're putting the amendments in the fall that are going to break down over the next 3 or 4 months and have their bed nice and hot and ready to rock and roll come spring. I don't know. Alrighty, well, I thought there'd be a bunch of people out here wanting to hang out, but I guess not. So I'm going to waste my time and anybody else's. We'll see you guys later. Y'all have a great morning.